I want to talk about benchmarking in portfolio management, and I want to do it particularly as I'm doing it. I'd like you to consider a couple of questions. What behaviours is benchmarking driving within your investors' minds, within your own minds, and within investment managers' minds and processes as well? To do that, firstly, I'm going to break all the rules of effective PowerPoint design and put far too many words on a page. So I'm going to take a break and just give you 10-15 seconds to read through. What jumped out at me when I read this article was this middle piece. If you tell a client that their portfolios return 12%, they'd generally be pretty happy, wouldn't they? And so they should be, unless you tell them that the benchmark did 14, suddenly you've made them unhappy. What if their objective was to achieve at least 12% return? Then they're on line to achieve their objectives, and isn't that what we should be trying to focus on? Forget the fine detail on the right-hand side there. This is a Chant West survey of Aussie superannuation funds. There's 61 funds in the survey. I've picked the group that has an asset allocation of between 60 and 80% in growth or risk assets. This is looking at one-year performance numbers, anywhere from a little bit over 10 to nearly 19%, and the median return about 15.6. What's our natural reaction when we look at a league table like this? If you support a football side like I do, you look towards the bottom half of the table and get disappointed. If you look to the top of the table, the natural reaction is to say, well, those guys have done a good job. Is that in fact what we should be communicating? What I then looked at here was the same ranking on one-year returns, but I've colour-coded those funds that are advised by the same asset consultants. The names aren't important, the names you know. The point I'm trying to make is here there's quite a wide dispersion of outcomes here from funds that are advised by the same asset consultants. There's blue at the top, there's blue at the bottom, there's yellow all over the place. What's going on here? Now, the point is not to beat up on asset consultants here. These guys are incredibly well resourced, incredibly professional at what they do. What are the behaviours that is driving in you as an advisor, and what will it drive in you in your clients? What if we changed the ranking and did it on 3 years? We've got quite a different outcome. Should you fire managers on the basis of 1 year being at the top or at the bottom of the table, or 3 years at the bottom of the table? Or should we evaluate their performance against the objectives that these asset consultants set with their funds when they took on the engagement? And if that's in fact the case, that we should be benchmarking, to use that word, against the underlying client objectives, then don't those sort of peer comparisons become irrelevant?